It's Madden NFL 22, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Rams and the Browns coming up next.
It's been a wet and dreary day by the shores of Lake Erie, but we have football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Stafford. He'll dump this off to Akers. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Stafford. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led by the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man of the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
It also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. And they'll run. This is Trey Sermon. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. The numbers for Sermon in last week's game: 17 carries, 64 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
On 2nd and 7, Lawrence. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Got a man, it's De'Ami Brown, complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. Sermon now on 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Sermon. And down inside the 15 he goes. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now. It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Aaron Donald able to record his 5th sack of the season, and it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone. Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To the right side, this is Sermon. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. On 3rd down, Lawrence. It's complete to Brown, right side. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on 4th down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches. So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the first down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. They need about the length of the football here on 1st and goal. Lawrence going to keep it, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. Liam Eichenberg, 2nd-round pick in 2021 from Notre Dame, the guilty party. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Now a handoff, Sermon. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. To the right side, this is Stevenson. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. And his kick is good. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense. And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they have things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight. And that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 99 yards, and a touchdown.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
That was a really nice job there, stretching zone coverage by running that route deep enough before breaking it back towards the sideline and being open.
And a precise throw for the reception in the first. They'll run on first down with Akers. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Stafford going to give to Akers on the draw. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, Stafford. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the Rams are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Back to throw, Stafford. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Stafford. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Robert Woods, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Rams have taken the lead. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces, because they've got some new faces from a year ago. Add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team, and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. On the handoff, Sermon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Here's Lawrence. Got this into the hands of the tight end, Jordan. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Here's Sermon. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And they'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
So the field goal unit is coming on here, and boy, this is going to be darn near impossible. And this from the parking lot, from an even 70 yards out. And supreme confidence in the kicker turns to supreme failure, as that is obviously no good. And this score will stay right where it is. I guess I got to hand it to him. That was ambitious.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Getting set to go again here, Robert Woods marches back onto the field. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him.
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They run. Here's Sermon. And he stopped immediately there. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Flush to his right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And incomplete on the deep ball. The LA defense up the snuff in coverage there. Pushes this to 4th down. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
So here are the Rams to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
The job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get to the marker, but now in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage. Better than trying to figure out 3rd and long. They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Stafford popping this forward. It's a jet sweep.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And his maximum speed there, according to the next-gen stats, 21.9 miles per hour.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Already a pair of third-down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this third-down try. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
And the Rams are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score.
To throw is Stafford. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Second down and goal. Stafford. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. A very costly sack there on third and goal pushes him back big time. And now you'd figure the field goal team coming on fourth. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now the Rams send out the field goal team here. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the 2 teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
A short kick taken at the 18. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Eluding the pressure right.
And Lawrence going to smartly hit the deck here as he is able to pick up the first down in the process.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
On first down, Lawrence.
Flushed out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole.
Now Lawrence going to get his guys to go quickly. They go play action now. Lawrence.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Man open, it's Tony. He's got it. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from. So field position becomes a factor. I think in this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air, maybe.
And he's got it. That's Kupp for a Ram touchdown. Cooper Kupp as time expires in the first half. And the Rams will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point safely through. And the lead is now 17-3. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And it's the Titans out in front in that one. Julio Jones, a touchdown reception. From there, we head to the Big Easy to check on the Saints at home in the Superdome. And they have the lead over the visiting Buccaneers as that game has gone to halftime. Alvin Kamara, a touchdown run in that first half. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Marlon Mack with a touchdown run. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Rams. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good-size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they had a little bit more success on the ground than their opponents did, and that should set them up well for the second half to come.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run once more with Sermon. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. This is Sermon. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt inside that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulder square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. This will be caught by Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Lawrence. Over the middle, complete. It's caught. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. Open man right side is Tony. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. But to throw again is Lawrence. This to the outside, it's Sermon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Lawrence's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. To throw again on second down. Lawrence. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
Ready next time.
It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
Well, enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Here we go. Here we go.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Lawrence will throw. And this one is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Very short kick taken right at the 20. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack, and they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Chauncey Golston in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Here's Johnny Hekker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Cleveland offense making their way out. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. To Tony. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. He was able to get away initially on that play, but ultimately not much space to roam.
Great job there by them containing him, because you mentioned he got away initially, and how many times does that end up with a guy taking off for 15 or 20 yards? Here, the support was there, and they made the tackle for a loss.
38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Here's Lawrence to throw. Right back to Tony. He's got another one. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They give to Sermon out of the gun. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
L.A. set to take over again on offense.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Stafford now to throw. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
Stafford going to give this to Akers.
And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way.
They'll go again here with Akers.
And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
But they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at half. But the best teams adjust that their defense has done its job. It's their
in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. And that'll be caught by Tony.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
On the option to give to Sermon here.
Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. The Browns on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Now it's Sermon.
And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
84 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He'll dump this off to Sermon, complete. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll make it second down.
And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number, and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
From the gun on third down, Lawrence.
And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete.
Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And the Rams now coming out on the field.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10.
Back to throw, Stafford.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
They'll run out of the gun with Akers.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Here's Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
On 3rd down, Lawrence.
And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high Rams offense now. They get set and head back onto the field.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Going right back to Akers.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Here comes a big one as this crowd gets out making some noise. It's 3rd and short. To throw is Stafford. Right side complete. That's Woods.
And he is going to have a Rams first down, as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
On the handoff, it's Akers.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
It's not easy playing the corner, is it? A lot of times you got to defend against the pass, but sometimes you have to play against the run. How about the job he did there, crashing inside to make that tackle for a loss?
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, Stafford.
That's complete to his running back, Jefferson.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now it's Stafford. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Browns are right back in this football game.
A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48.
The drive starts with a carry by Sermon.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
He's going deep for Brown. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way.
Touchdown! A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Browns have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
Here we go. The Browns will go for 2. They'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete. And the failure to convert and tie the game, now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Stafford. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Here's Johnny Hekker now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. Finding some room at midfield. And gets it across the 50 and down to the 48.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Open man is Jordan, the tight end. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Lawrence. Got a man. It's Brown. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Two minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. On 2nd down, it's Sermon. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage with a flag down here to boot. So they may back up further. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Back to throw. They set up the screen for Sermon. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. He's back to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses that are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
first down. Akers. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Second down and 5.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
On third down, here's a run by Akers.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Made his first. This now from 42 yards out. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
So now the Browns down 17-15, 35 seconds to go. And they need at least 30 yards, you'd have to think, here to move the football to have a shot. They'll look to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. He'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. So the L.A. Rams with a victory here. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half,